Hey guys, we are back again, and tonight we are going to talk about the review of Liverpool versus Tottenham. It was a very intense game with both teams playing very well, and at the end Liverpool scored a lucky winner, an own goal by Alderweireld by a Lloris mistake. So first things first, I'm going to talk about the key players of both teams and who played very well for both teams. As for me, I think for Liverpool, I think Van Dijk, as you can see, it was trending worldwide, that defensive decision he made by controlling in that 1v2 situation. He didn't commit, and he just...
No, but no matter what, Sissoko would have missed that. So I'm not going to say Van Dijk did a fantastic defensive things, but he's a good player. He made a lot of difference to the team. But that mistake from Sissoko is not because Van Dijk defended well or anything like that. He just prevented Sissoko from playing a ball to Son. That's about it.
Yeah, I think if it, like for example, if it was Lovren, I think he wouldn't be so calm. I think he would just go right into...
Yeah, I agree with that point, because Lovren is not a good defender. So yeah.
So I think in that sense, like from Liverpool, like from previous seasons, their defensive players up till now, I think it was a good thing or nice thing to see a defensive player which is very calm in that situation. And another key player for Liverpool was, in my opinion, Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think his delivery was very good, and the delivery he made for Salah, that first time cross that he did, I think it was a beautiful thing that he did. That the daringness, the braveness of him, despite him being a young kid, to play that well and to do that key pass, I think it was a very brave thing to see in a Liverpool's point of view. And as for Tottenham, I think the key players was Lucas Moura. I think he was very energetic in the first half. He made a couple of good runs, but I think his finishing let him down. And another key player, especially in the second half was Danny Rose. I think his energy by bombing up and down kind of give problems for Liverpool's defense. So how about you? Who do you think?
I agree with you on Van Dijk. He was actually very effective on the game as usual. He's the usual key man for Liverpool defense, and for Tottenham, I think it's got to be Danny Rose, and I think Harry Kane with the assist was very awesome, and Eriksen was good also. He was doing his part at the usual Eriksen.
How about you?
I think for Liverpool, it's Trent, because he really played a very good game in terms of defensively handling Lucas Moura and also going up and providing attacking threat. He also did pretty well. And for Tottenham, I think it has to be Danny Rose, because he was the only one who was trying his best to bring the ball up, trying to dribble, but it's not his job. The job should be done by players like Eriksen, Dele Alli, Harry Kane, but he's the one trying to make something out of nothing. So I'll give it to Danny Rose.
So next thing I'm going to talk about is Tottenham. In recent weeks, their form has been very bad, and they have this habit of scoring a goal, getting back into the game, and at the end somehow losing the game. For example, the last minute unlucky goal against Liverpool, and against Southampton, the free kick, and against Burnley, they lost in the last 10 minutes or 15 minutes as well. So, do you all think this bad form is due to Pochettino and him not handling his squad properly and not handling the situation properly, or is it due to the lack of squad depth that Tottenham has?
In a way, I think it's both, because the selection of a team, like against a big team, he didn't start Son in the starting 11. So, I think this kind of selection in team selection, I think it's actually quite bad, because certain players will fit in, certain players won't. And for the depth of the squad, yes, they didn't buy any players, and it's really affecting them at this point of the tournament.
How about you?
For me, I feel Pochettino, the only mistake he has made, right, is not being able to manage the tactics well in terms of playing against a bigger team and all that. Because he does play the same way, just that the personnel are different. Like for example, if Eric Dyer is there, then he plays ahead of Sissoko. Then if it's Dembele is there, then he plays ahead of Sissoko, and it's always the same. Like we all know, like if Lucas Moura plays, Son is on the bench, and if Son plays, Lucas Moura is on the bench. He doesn't try something new, like maybe a 4-2-3-1, or maybe like a 4-3-3, or this game he should play like a 4-1-4-1. You know, he doesn't try that. He just have a 2 to 3 formations, but the playing style is similar to what he plays in all the tactics he ploy out. Other than that, I think he has managed the squad well, though, in terms of not having able to sign anyone, and also his squad being very young and relatively young. I think he has managed them well, but if you don't have enough players, I don't think the manager should be blamed. It should be the board. So Pochettino has done a very good job, but it's just that he needs a bit more players where he can afford to drop players like Harry Kane if he's not performing. But now he can't, because the backup is Llorente. So how would Harry Kane be feared? Like, oh, if I don't play well, then Llorente is gonna step in. Harry Kane will not be feared because of that. And with all due respect to Llorente, I mean, but to be honest, like in this situation, you need players fighting for places, like, so they can continue even under pressure. They will be performing, because these players supposed to play under pressure, in my opinion. So I think a bigger squad will help Pochettino out relatively well.
For me, I think he has done his best with his current squad. If someone like Klopp or even Pep Guardiola have the same squad as Tottenham, I don't think they would have done as good as Pochettino. I think Pochettino's way of handling his squad is very, very good, and it's only the board's fault of not buying even one or two players that could help the team. And another thing that the board did was releasing or selling Dembele in the January transfer window to China. I think keeping him, and if he was fit, I think it would have made a lot of difference in this match. So I think the Pochettino has done the best that he has that he can do, and I think it's the board's responsibility to help him into building a top squad so that they can challenge for the league. So last things I'm going to talk about is Liverpool. It was another lucky win for Liverpool, a last minute winner like previous week where it was a penalty and Milner score. So do you think it's a sign of champions by scoring a lot of last minute goals, or do you think it's just Liverpool and the Liverpool team, Liverpool players and Liverpool manager not handling the pressure well, and that is why they are not performing that well?
No, I think some games they haven't played well, but they've won. I mean, that's what I call champions elect. But the past few games, I think results has been given to them by a fair margin. Because, like, the Salahs, the falls and all that is all a bit controversial compared to how other teams won in the other time, because they will get a lucky goal, but in overall their performance will be a bit at least like a 80% at there, where maybe one game they'll be like a 40 and then they'll do a 1-0 win. But in terms of Liverpool wise, they are either at 100% or they are at 20%. So I would say luck is on their side. I'm not going to deny that, and to be champions you need luck. But at the same time, if you lose one game, then I think a lot of things are going to change in terms of like their winning streak and all that, because if they lose one maybe in the next game, then it's very hard for them to recover. And if they lose another one, or let's say they draw another one, then they will be far behind from Man City. So luck, with the luck they have, they should hope that they can have the luck for the next 8 to 9 games. If not 6 to 7 games, if not, it's going to be very dangerous for Liverpool, especially at this last stretch.
How about you?
For me, I think it can be luck that plays a part, but I think past few games they are having a bad game, and there is a chance for them to lose points in the upcoming games, and the pitches are very quietly packed, and they have to back up, like to get back to the feel of the start of the season, like how they managed to pull off with the game and the passion. That's the only thing that's bringing them up all this while.
As for me, I think it's not really a sign of champions, because in previous season, for example the Brendan Rodgers season, we won against Man City after